Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to talk about the important questions from P Block Elements Group 15. And these questions are helpful for preparation of mains, NEET, CBSE and ISC board examinations. We already have covered 5 questions in the last video and the link is in the description box if you want to watch that video as well. And in this video, we'll get started with question number 6 and here it goes. PCl3 fumes in moisture. Over here, they are stating that PCl3 fumes in moisture, but we are supposed to say the reason now. Why does PCl3 fume in moisture is the actual question. When you expose PCl3 to moisture, which is nothing but H2O, it reacts with 3 moles of moisture per 1 mole, leading to formation of H3PO3 and HCl. Due to formation of HCl, which fumes out easily, we get to see fume evolution when PCl3 is exposed to moisture. So the reason behind PCl3 fuming out in moisture is production of HCl, that too 3 moles of HCl molecules. And moving on to next question guys, is all the 5 PCl bonds are not equal in PCl5. In this question they are talking about PCl5, phosphorus pentachloride, and they are stating that the 5 PCl bonds that we get to see in this molecule are not equal and we are supposed to state the reason now. Before we could go to the reason, let us quickly take a look at the structure of PCl5. It has got trigonal bipyramidal structure in which 3 chlorine atoms are arranged at a distance of 202 picometers and the remaining 2 chlorine atoms are arranged at a distance of 240 picometers. So these 2 chlorine atoms which are at a greater distance are considered to be axial bonds and the remaining 3 are considered to be equatorial bonds. And the difference in the bond lengths is due to the repulsion between the axial and equatorial positions. So coming back to the question, all the 5 PCl bonds are not equal in PCl5 due to the arrangement of chlorine atoms according to the structure, and this arrangement happens in order to maintain maximum stability in the molecule. The 2 bonds which are axially arranged are lengthier than the top remaining 3 bonds which are equatorially arranged. I hope you could understand this. In case you still have a doubt in this question or in any other question, please do not hesitate letting me know the same in the comment box below. For now, let's move on to the next question. H3PO2 has got reducing character. Why is H3PO2 having reducing character? First of all, what is meant by reducing character? Reducing character is capacity of a molecule or a species to lose electrons or to add electrons to the adjacent species. So H3PO2 has got reducing character. What does it mean? It means this molecule have got capacity to lose electrons. To understand that better, we would have to look at the oxidation state of phosphorus in H3PO2. And I'm sure you know how to calculate that. In case you do not know, let me quickly brief on that as well. So you're calculating oxidation state of phosphorus, so call it as X. And oxidation state of hydrogen is +1 per each atom and that of oxygen is -2 per each atom. And the sum of oxidation states of all the atoms must be equal to 0 in a neutral species or in a neutral molecule. So making the same logic applied here, 3 into +1, which is the total oxidation state of 3 hydrogen atoms, plus X, oxidation state of phosphorus that I am calculating, plus 2 into -2, oxidation state of 2 oxygen atoms present here is equal to 0. Which means 3 plus x minus 4 is equal to 0. Which means x minus 1 is equal to 0 and x is equal to +1. The oxidation state of phosphorus in H3PO2 is +1. But when you look at the group number, phosphorus belongs to group 15 and the maximum oxidation state feasible is +5. In this current molecule, phosphorus is existing at +1 oxidation state, but you can bring it maximum to +5. And how can you get +5 oxidation state from +1? By losing more electrons, isn't it? But anything that has capacity to lose electrons is called reducing by nature. It is supposed to have that reducing character, isn't it? And that's why H3PO2 is having reducing character because it has capacity to lose 4 more electrons to reach the maximum oxidation state. I hope you have understood this, and let's now move on to the next question. Over here, H3PO3 is dibasic or diprotic, but H3PO4 is tribasic or triprotic. You are supposed to say the reason why is H3PO3 dibasic and why is H3PO4 tribasic. But before we could talk about the reason, let us quickly recap what's meant by diprotic or what's meant by dibasic and tribasic. When you look at the acids, the number of H plus ions furnished per 1 mole of acid is considered as its basicity. Say for example, you're talking about HCl. 1 mole of HCl after dissociation can furnish 1 mole of H plus ions. So HCl is monobasic acid by nature, or you can also call it as monoprotic acid. And when you look at H2SO4 on complete ionization, it can get you 2 moles of H plus ions. Because 1 mole of acid is giving you 2 moles of H plus ions, H2SO4 is called as dibasic acid or diprotic acid, right? So right now in the question, they are also already stating that H3PO3 is dibasic and H3PO4 is tribasic, and they are asking you for the reason. To understand the reason, you got to take a look at the structure of H3PO4, where phosphorus is acting as the central atom and there are 3 hydroxy groups. And in H3PO3, phosphorus is central atom but only 2 hydroxy groups. And if you also compare H3PO2, phosphorus is a central atom and there's only 1 hydroxy group. So observe the number of hydroxy groups available in H3PO4. There are 3 hydroxy groups and hence 3 H plus ions can be lost from the first molecule. Because 1 mole of acid is giving you 3 H plus ions, you call this as tribasic acid or triprotic acid. And when you look at H3PO3, there are only 2 hydroxy groups, which means only 2 moles of H plus ions can be furnished per 1 mole of acid, and hence you call this molecule as dibasic or diprotic acid. And the third one can furnish only 1 mole of H plus ions, and hence you call it as monobasic acid. So the basicity of an acid is nothing but the number of H plus ions furnished per 1 mole of acid. And in case you want more such questions for learning or for the sake of practice, I have included all such questions in the description box. Description में एक link है जहाँ से आपको ये सारे questions and answers मिल जाएंगे. You can pick it up from there. And now let's move on to the next page with the next question. PCl5 is ionic solid, ionic in solid state. PCl5 जब आप gaseous state में लेते हो, then it is normal. It's a covalent molecule. But in solid state, it has got ionic characteristics. Why? What is the reason? That is because when you take PCl5 in solid physical state, what happens is instead of existing as PCl5, it does exist as PCl4 plus and PCl6 minus. So here is the plus charge. PCl4 plus and PCl6 minus is how this molecule does exist. One chlorine is either lost or one chlorine is acquired by phosphorus in order to maintain stability. अभी ये लॉस एंड एक्वायरिंग की वजह से क्या हो रहा है, एक चार्ज डेवलप हो रहा है मॉलिक्यूल के ऊपर. Because of this charge, what happens? The molecule behaves like an ion, and that's why the solid behaves like an ionic solid. PCl5 is ionic in solid state due to existence of PCl4 plus and PCl6 minus ions. Alright everyone, so these are a few questions that I wanted to discuss in this video, and if you want more such questions, you can pick them up from the description box. I have added a link to the notes, and in case you want me to explain more such questions, you can also let me know that in the comments below. I'll see you in one other video. Until then, it's bye from my side.